Good afternoon, Floss Tube friends. This is Lisa from Lady Huzzah Presents on Floss Tube, Lady Huzzah on Instagram. Welcome to my Floss Tube. I'm anxious to share some of my projects with you this afternoon, but mostly I'm really excited about my 5,000 subscriber celebration. Since my last video, I had a lot of you join me and it pushed me over 5,000, in fact 5,100 plus. And I'm very excited to have a special celebration with you. And at the end, I will have a number of giveaways that I have selected for you, a large variety of different types of stitching, different charts, seasonal samplers, different things that take us through the year as you have stayed with me throughout the years of my doing my floss tube. So I'm very excited about that. I'm also really eager to show you my latest finishes, my whips, my haul, my knitting, my wool work, and all the things, and my goals. Don't we all have goals? I'll tell you, my desire for stitching far exceeds my time, even with being retired now. I thought I would have tons of time, and I do, but sometimes I don't know where the days go. So anyway, here we go. So a little bit of a life update. I've been retired now 2 months. My husband and I enjoyed a lovely trip to Florida. We were in Florida for 2 weeks, which was wonderful. We then visited some friends in South Carolina for 5 days that took us through birthdays, our friends' birthdays and mine. I was away with some friends in Tennessee on a stitching weekend, which was fabulous. More on that later. We had a smalls exchange, and I received something beautiful that I'm very anxious to show you. Also, on the 18th of September, my husband had his right total knee done. He had the left total knee replaced last year, actually at the operating room, the outpatient surgery center where I worked. And then he went back this year and had his right knee replaced. Well, I have to tell you, that man is determined. Just on Friday, 2 weeks post-op, he was cleared to drive. He is really much cleared to do anything he wants to, except kneel and run long distances. Well, running long distances is not his thing anyway, so he's good. So he's really up and around and starting to feel a lot more like himself. His dressing is off, his staples are out, and PT is very, very thrilled with his progress so far. I will say he had his own personal OR nurse, an orthopedic nurse to take care of him at home, which that always makes for a speedier recovery. So he was very lucky in that respect, and I'm very lucky because he was a very good patient. So the other thing is, I wanted to update you on our daughter, Erin. She, as you all know, was battling breast cancer this past year. Well, I was with her in June and July for part of her treatment. She was in her radiation then, and she had that for 3 weeks and finished her radiation, went through it with flying colors, and she is now doing very, very well. She does have medications that she needs to take for the next few years, but other than that, she's back to, starting to work out with her sports team. Not able to compete yet, but she's able to be more active. Some of the extra weight that she put on through her cancer treatment, which they did say that she would probably gain weight, that's come off, and she looks and feels great. Her hair is growing back in so nicely, and it's very thick and curly. And she was not a curly hair girl before, but I understand that with chemo, once you've lost your hair, oftentimes when it grows in differently. Her hair also was a pretty dark brown before, like her mama's was at one point. Her hair was a very dark brown, but now it definitely has a lot of reddish auburn tones to it. She looks beautiful and she feels great, and she'll be coming home at Christmas. So I'm really excited about that. Our son will be home at Christmas too. So we are really looking forward to getting into the holiday season. In fact, today we went out and we're out shopping actually for some Halloween things and some things for our home. And we picked up another Christmas tree for our house. I want to say a everlasting tree, a fake tree, an everlasting tree that we will decorate in our loft area come December. We had one there in previous years, but it really has worn out. It was very old and the lights were shot and some of the branches were drooping and it just wasn't in good shape. So we did find one. I can't believe we bought a Christmas tree in October. That's not really the way we roll with things, but we did, and we're looking forward to a lovely holiday season. Okay, so that's pretty much our life update. Things are really good right now in the Duffin home, and we are really looking forward to the beautiful fall weather that we're having and moving into the holiday season. So what I will start with here is to award my giveaways from my last video. Okay, one of the giveaways was this pair of shoes, Dutch shoes, that I put in a wool ball and made a pin cushion out of it and added some counting pins that I made. And then there's a little spot here to store your scissors, a fun little thing to either keep on your shelf or next to you while you're stitching to have what you need nearby. I did give away a pair of these last year after our trip to Germany at Christmas time. I picked them up in the airport in Amsterdam, and I got so many comments of people wanting to win these shoes. So when I was on my return trip from Germany this past summer, I picked up another pair to share with you, my stitchy friends. So anyway, the winner of these is Felicia Michael, 248. Felicia, congratulations. Enjoy this with your stitching. And please send me an email and I will get these in the mail to you. You know, say that you're a winner and please say what you won. It just makes it easier for me when I come to mail out the prizes. And I do need your, be sure to include your mailing address. So congratulations, Felicia, on winning this little pair of shoes. The next winner of this Lizzie Kate patriotic design, patriotic chart. Everybody seems to be stitching patriotic as we move into 2026, a big anniversary year for our country. This goes to Julie Stubbs. So again, Julie, please email me, let me know what you want, and I will get this in the mail to you. My third prize was these Bee in My Bonnet stitch cards by Lori Holt. And these go to Becky Dunsum. Becky, it's spelled Becky, DUNHSM 7064. Becky, please send me an email and I will get these in the mail to you. Congratulations to our winners, and make sure you stay till the end of my video because I have 10 giveaways today. And again, you know the deal. I will give you a keyword to mention in your comment. You must like and subscribe to my video, and you must be over 18 because I need to contact you through email. And please don't say prize, drawing, giveaway, whatever, because that just makes people that have no business claiming prizes sort of scope out my channel, and we don't want any of that. Okay. So I have some finishes. I can't believe it, after my last video was chock full of finishes, I still have more. So I'm very excited to show these to you today. I have 2 framed pieces. This one is M. Nenquin by Hands Across the Sea. This was a stitch along I did with a group I belong to, and she turned out gorgeous. She is stitched fox and rabbit linen. Honestly, I forget which one. I'm getting a little bit of glare here, but my husband and I were working on glare reduction and it wasn't really too helpful today. Anyway, you'll just have to bear with this little dot that keeps moving around. Anyway, she was stitched with Vicki Clayton silks and she was a joy to stitch. So now that I've showed it to you, she can go on my wall. But I really love, look at this needle darning, pattern darning pieces at the bottom. It was so much fun. And then what I like to do to honor the original stitcher is I like to personalize with my own initials and the year somewhere that it's just not totally obvious. So here I left out a little bit of the motif and just put my initials, and I did finish this in 2024 and received it back from the framer recently. So that's M. Nenquin by Hands Across the Sea. Then the next piece I have that I got framed was 13 Colonies by Little House. And this was actually my blessing sampler for the year. I stitched this in January. A lot of people will stitch what they call a blessing sampler in January. And it's basically, if you stitch and finish a sampler in January, it's supposed to bring you blessings for the year. Well, you know what? If I can start and finish a sampler in January, that is telling me that I'm having some stellar stitching time and I'm off to a great start for my year. So anyway, I did want to stitch this for the year. And then as we move into 2026 for our Big America celebration here. So I really love doing this. It was a joy to stitch. I especially love that center. Let me show you the center little seaport kind of scene. And it lists on here all of our 13 colonies. So it's something I've enjoyed. The states that I've lived in have been New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Ohio. So this is quite nice to have this. Ohio was not one of the 13 colonies, but I live there. So there you have that. She's a beauty, and I can't wait to hang her on my wall. I did have her framed using museum glass, and I had her framed at Colonial Framing in Williamsburg, and they do a great job. I will put their contact information in my show notes. M. Nenquin was also framed at Colonial Framing also. So there you have that. Okay, so another finish that I just had the other day, this is, I'm getting into the Christmas mode. This is Be of Good Cheer from the Scarlett House. Now, Tanya had the model stitched over 1 on 28 count, and she used NPI silks. I used DMC, and I used 36 count Vintage Country Mocha, and I stitched this to fit right onto this wall hanging tin. I love it, and I was so fortunate that I found this tin at the Goodwill. I wasn't even finished stitching the piece when I bought it, but I did have the outside, the whole outside dimensions stitched. So I took it with me when I went shopping at the Goodwill and other places looking for some way to finish this, and I was totally thrilled that it fit so well on here. Now, this was really a very easy finish that I'd like to tell you something about. I had sort of a very sturdy, fusible interfacing that I ironed onto the back of it to give it some substance. And then I folded over the edges and just very lightly with a very thin strip of glue. I'm not really much of a gluer, but in some instances you need to. Very thin strip of glue, adhered the, the margins, the seam allowance to the back, press it all down nice and firmly. And then I used something called a Stitcher's, I have some here, Stitcher's mounting tape. I think sometimes it's called finishing tape, but I use Stitcher's mounting tape, and I laid, it's a double stick tape. I'll show you what it looks like. Here it is. It comes in a roll. It's a double stick tape. So I pulled long strips of it and covered the whole back of the piece that I wanted to adhere to the tin. So On the whole back of this is rows of the Stitchers mounting tape, Stitchers finishing tape. You'll see it called different things. But anyway, so it's double stick. So I adhered the one side all across the back, pressed it firmly down, and then peeled off. You'll peel off this thicker kind of cream section, and it leaves the clear tape down below. And then I just peeled it off, simply pressed the design onto the tin, and I tell you, this is here to stay. I like to use it for mounting things on, oh, I don't know, tops of boxes, or if you're mounting, you know, if you've stitched a little piece to go onto a jewelry box that you might have fashioned to make into a stitching case, things like that. But I was so tickled with the way this turned out. And then I have a little burlap candy cane and a little, just some greenery there that sets in the top. So this will be really nice to have all ready for the holidays already. So again, this was Be of Good Cheer from the Scarlett House. Okay, so that's one of my finishes. Then, oh, Stitchers mounting tape. I bought this on Amazon quite a while ago. It is not inexpensive, but I bought this quite a while ago, and I still have quite a bit on this roll, and I've used it for many, many things. Some needlework stores have it. You can ask. It does come in different thicknesses. For my purposes, I generally find I like this, which is about, oh, I don't know, maybe an inch and a half thick, wide. So anyway, look for that. It's really invaluable in your finishing. Okay, so another finish that I had was this Kindred Spirits of the Thread little drum from Lottie Da. Well, what I did was I changed the colors. It was all just there was only about four colors. I added a fifth color, and I just switched the colors around, and I stitched it with Vicki Clayton silks, hand-dyed fibers, and I finished it into the drum, and here it is here. See, I made it a little bit brighter. And it says, Kindred Spirits of the Thread, peace and love we hope to spread. So I made this into a drum. This has wool on the top and then fabric on the bottom. And what I wanted to share with you about making a drum is this. People have asked me about it in the comments since I showed my nativity, my Tiny Town nativity drum the last time. But anyway, what I stuff my drums with is I actually stuff them upside down. So first I hand sew on the bottom piece, and then I have this all open to the top. First I throw in some firmly packed fiber fill. And then what I use next is the walnut shells, the ground walnut shells. And it's also called lizard litter. Stitching shops will sell bags of the ground walnut shells. Sometimes they're scented like lavender, sometimes they're unscented, but I tend to buy a big bag of them at the pet store. It's called lizard litter. Some people don't like those because they say it's dusty. I've been using them for years and years, and I've never had an issue with it. So this anyway is interfaced on the back, so nothing's going to get through the linen anyway. So I use fiber fill first, and then I use some lizard litter, and then I wanted to show you this other product that really, I mean, this is tight, that really tightens up your drum. And it is this. It's natural softwood animal bedding, small animal bedding, but it looks like it's for bunnies and hamsters and guinea pigs. So it's like a shaved balsa wood. I would open it up, but this is kind of a messy process using this because you seem like you get little shavings of wood stuck everywhere. So I usually take a big mixing bowl and put it under the area where I'm using to stuff so that the extra falls right into that bowl and I can scoop some out of there to use. but this is like a shaved balsa wood, and it compacts very, very easily. So what I do is when I'll take a handful of it, or, you know, a pinch, and press it in, keep pressing it in, and then put in some more ground walnut shells. Then I press in some more of the animal bedding. And then when I start to get near the top, I sew my base on, so I just have a little bit that opens up, but I can still get in there. So then I'll shove in some more, and then I take, what I really like to use is kind of like a small, thin spatula that I think they call them sandwich spreaders or something. I always take it out of my silverware drawer or my utensil drawer, and I kind of put that in there, and I can ease some more of the bedding down along the edges of my drum, and then I close up the rest. And when I still have a little bit opening, enough to get in that spatula, I'll take some more bedding and keep shoving it in there and packing it down with the spatula until I can't fit anymore. And then I completely sew up the bottom. So then after I have totally closed up my drum, I just go like this, and I roll it, and I, tap it on the table a little bit, so that you can then have a very firm, straight drum that stands up very easily. So you might want to check it out. This I got quite a while ago. It was only a few dollars, and I've made several drums, and this goes a long way because it's very densely packed in this block of the bedding also. So it just says it's made out of wood, but I think it's like, let me see if it says on here what kind of wood. Oh, it's pine. It's a pine wood, but very clean, very, very thinly shaved wood, and it compacts very, very nicely if you want something that's dense and tight as you would want with a drum. So there you are. I'll just put this here so you can see it and write it down. I think I got this from Petco or PetSmart. I've had it for quite a while, so I really don't even remember where I got it, but those are our two pet stores in town. So that's that. Okay, well, I did have a few more finishes as well. On my Whip Go last month, I had the Hands Across the Sea Matilda. I've worked on her, I think, twice this year because I really wanted to get her finished, and I stitched her on 36 count Brea by Needles and Flax, and I used Wavy Navy, and I don't remember what the red was, but I used Wavy Navy, and because I put my colors away already, because yes, I have a finish. So I will present to you Matilda, which I love her. So pleased with how she turned out. And even though she's not a patriotic sampler, with the red and the blue, she will certainly blend in with some of the other patriotic samplers that I have. And again, up here, I left out, there was some motif. I'll show you what it was. And I put in my initials there, LLD 2025. Right up here where they had sort of like this little motif there. There is one motif I left off, and it's like right there. I don't know what it is. Sort of looks like a frying pan. I don't know. But that did not carry through to my sampler. But here you go. Here's Matilda from Hands Across the Sea. She was in the first box of the red boxes that Nicola puts out. I think I just showed you the back. There you go. She was in the first box of samplers, in the red sampler box that Nicola Parkman had a few years ago. Probably more than a few years by now. The time goes so darn fast. All right, and I did have yet another finish. When I was at a gathering of friends, this summer, when I was with my friend Miriam and Sylvia running with needles and scissors, we did some peyote beading, and that was in June. and I made a fob then. And then when I was together with friends in Tennessee in September, we did peyote beading again. And this time I did strawberry pie. And this is a scissor fob from Fern Ridge collection. And here you go. This is beautiful. I just love this. It just sparkles so much. And the bottom has the most adorable, let me see if I can show you, adorable little strawberry beads. They're enamel. So peyote beading is a lot of fun. I will say, albeit it is very fiddly when you first get started. I've probably made 8 fobs maybe by this time, but every time I start it, it's very fiddly to get it going, but then once I'm going, it seems to be fine. So there is another one that I would like to start pretty soon, and it's Maggie the Mermaid, and she is so adorable. Check out the bottom little things on her tail, I guess it is. But, you know, the ladies at Fern Ridge include every last thing you need, except patience. But anyway, there's all these like little sequiny little dangle spangles and some shells that go on the bottom. So I'm really anxious to start her. Maybe since I'm doing another one in fairly close proximity of when I did the strawberry pie, maybe the fiddly won't be as much of a issue. It can be frustrating and you just have to stick with it, but once you get your groove on it, you just take off. So these are something to look for, the scissor fobs from Fern Ridge collection, and they do have a row by row instruction of how to successfully complete your fob. All right, well, let's see, I have yet another finish. This one is, I don't know where my chart is, Sweet Friendships by the Proper Stitcher. So this says, sweet friendships refresh the soul and awaken our hearts with joy. All right, well, kind of funny story about this. I stitched this and wasn't quite sure how I wanted to finish it. So I was looking around in my sewing room for different pieces of wood and what have you, and sure enough, I came across this wood board, and this is from April Whitaker of Homestead Needleworks, I believe. I'll put her contact information in my show notes. But this board was actually for, and she does have them available. I did check with her. This was actually for a hands-on design Halloween piece from a few years back. I finished my Halloween piece a little bit differently, so I did not use the board that I had purchased, but it fit perfectly on here. And this is on 36 count Zweigart Silver Moon, stitched with the called for threads. And I really enjoyed this stitch. It was just a sweet little verse, and it was very easy to finish since I had a board that it fit perfectly, and the board was already painted and sanded and buffed, and it was great. It was a lovely finish to do. So this is from the Proper Stitcher, Annie Turner, Annie Jeffcoat Turner, Annie Turner, Annie Turner. So anyway, the Proper Stitcher, and it's the Sweet Friendships. So that's another finish that I've had. Okay, well, there is one more finish. I think I talked about these in my last video, some socks that I was knitting, but now I have the whole pair, both socks finished. So I did talk a little bit about self-striping yarn, getting an identical twin sock, which these turned out to be identical twins. They're both the same. Or you can get fraternal twins. So if you're using a self-striping yarn, this was from Simply Sock Company, and this is called Color Splash yarn. And they're in Indiana. They do have a an online presence, and I believe they're on Facebook too, but it's Simply Socks. And I knit a pattern into these. It's just not a regular vanilla sock that they call it. But if you want to achieve identical twins, I know I've talked about this before, but it can be intimidating if you're not comfortable with it, so it bears mentioning again. So when I went to cast on this sock, I wrote down on a piece of paper, and even you can take a picture of it too, that's even better. Take a picture of where you started to cast on, your initial loop of where you started to cast on your sock on the yarn. And then if you want an identical sock, when you go to make your second sock, you pull through the yarn to find that same color shift in your yarn, and then you can cast on and you will get an identical sock or pretty darn near close. If you want fraternal twin socks, then you just start. So it'll be the same yarn, same colors, but different patterning. Like you could have, say, this orange spot or, this blue spot way up at the top, and then it's just the same patterning, but not in the same position on the sock. So that's fraternal twins. My daughter, who I've made a number of pairs of socks for, she doesn't care whether they're fraternal twins or identical twins. It just depends on the yarn whether I strive to get it identical or fraternal. And also, again, I know I've mentioned this book before, but it is fabulous. It's Sensational Knitted Socks by Charlene Church, which is S. And I did have it spiral bound at Staples, but this sock book gives you measurements and formulas to make socks from infant socks up to Bigfoot socks. And they give you a variety of different types of pattern repeats. So I'll show you here. They have, let's see. What I used was their area where they have the 4 pattern repeats. Okay, so here, they give you all different patterns that you can knit into your same basic sock. So you can knit your sock just plain, or you can add a pattern. And there's so many different patterns like this throughout the book that just makes it lovely to work with. Some people like to knit from like a chart like that. Some people like it spelled out. They do it both ways. They also give you instructions on knitting with all the double point needles or circular needles. So this book is fabulous to have. I have seen it on discount book sites like Abe Books. I've seen it there, but if you're a sock knitter or want to be a sock knitter, it is excellent. So you can check that out too. Okay, so where am I here? Oh, I talked about a gathering of some friends in Tennessee, and we had a smalls exchange. And I was the lucky winner of this beautiful beaded little stitching case. Look at how that ribbon, look how this is finished. Look how that ribbon is woven to make the lining for this. And the scissors slip right into there, and there's needles. So my friend Rebecca Brigham created this, and I was the lucky winner of this in our smalls exchange. So Rebecca, I absolutely love it and treasure it. And I thank you so much. And I am thrilled to be the recipient of this needle case. All right. So what else do we have going on here? Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. This was not a finish for this year, but I finished it last year. But since it's autumn, I wanted to show you something autumn. So this is a woolly tree from Attic Heirlooms. My friend Trish Harriman, it's her business, Attic Heirlooms. She does have a wool applique Facebook page. And this is an autumn tree made of strips of wool wrapped on branches, and then there's little acorns that you tuft pieces of fabric and you make the little acorn ornaments. This is just the most adorable tree. Now, in the past, if you've been with me through my floss tube journey, you've seen that I also did a Christmas tree that she has created. Trish is so talented, and I did just notice on her Facebook page that she has a Halloween tree. I have not ordered it yet, but I do need to order it. It has these little adorable pumpkins that you make to put on the tree. So cute, and I do have to get down to ordering that. Also, she has does like an annual series. The Christmas tree was an annual series. So at first you made the tree, and then each month for the year, you were sent packages of little ornament kits to make for your tree. We made a tree skirt, we made ornaments, we made a garland, all out of wool. They are adorable. I just love Trish's work. She is so talented, and it's Attic Heirlooms. Check out her website. So for this year, she was doing things, making little vignettes. So each vignette, there was 3 different pieces to the vignette for the 4 seasons. So there was 12 again. It takes up a year. It was 12 again for the year. So this year, we're making pieces to go around these tins. You know what? This is a different tin than my Christmas piece is mounted on. This is smaller, but when I saw this, I was like, oh, that looks pretty similar. But no, this is smaller and it's adorable. So she makes pieces to mount on your tin. So this was the kit for August. Here, crunchy alert. Let me take out the color picture so you can see it better. I am behind. I've done a lot of traveling around this summer. And okay, so there's that little squirrel wrap that goes on the front of the tin. So that was August. Oh, July. So to back up a little bit, this year they went on a tin and a spool. And these things, in a combination of 3 patterns, made up a seasonal little vignette. Okay, so the one for July was to make these pumpkins. And again, I was in Germany and finishing up my job in July. So I have not gotten to these, but I'm very frustrated that I haven't, but I will. And then, so for September, we made the little leaves to go into the little pail. And I have seen some sneak peeks that she has going on for the next and last 3-month series for the year, for the winter ones. And it's what I have seen on her website is adorable. And she very generously gives these patterns away each month for free, the pattern, on her wool applique, Stitch Along with Attic Heirlooms, on her wool applique site on Facebook. And for that month, you can download the pattern free, or you can just buy the whole kit from her and then you just have it. I prefer just to have it all, that it's there when I want to make it, and they are so precious. And definitely check it out. She does have, like I said, her new tree, which is a Halloween tree. She also had a Valentine's tree, which I'm still working on the little hearts that go on the tree. So I will show that at a later date. But again, that's pink. It's like a pink wool, and it is just adorable. And then you could, and I believe she did like a springtime or an Easter tree also, but it's very addicting. So check it out, Trish Harriman, Attic Heirlooms. And it's these are the project of the month. So I don't know what she's coming up with for 2026, but I can tell you, no matter what she's doing, I am all in. I am jumping right into that. It's great. All right. So now what do we have? My whip go. Okay, so my latest whip go was to finish the Matilda. So that goal I met. And then I was also working on my Scarlet Letter, Peacock, Unicorn, and Badger. So I have that here. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Oops. Here's all my threads. These are beautiful Aversois silks. I know I've been working on this throughout the year. I've showed it to you a number of times, but hey, with a beauty that is so big like this, it is worth showing as often as anybody wants to see it. So anyway, here's my Peacock, Unicorn, and Badger. Some people are stitching this on a green linen. I purchased this kit before the green linens were available. I've had this for a while. And so I'm actually stitching it on 40 count, and it is charted so that you fill in the green in the back. I absolutely am fine with fill-in work. I enjoy doing it. I can show you. Here's my Peacock, Unicorn, and Badger. So I have made it to that other corner pretty early on, but most recently I filled in that gorgeous peacock. So I do love the fill-in work. I mean, I get certain motifs done. So like right around here, I'll be able to just go ahead and fill in. And it's really nice to do if I'm watching TV with my husband. I like the filled in look because to me it looks more like a tapestry. But I've seen some that people are stitching on green, and I tell you, if I had not already purchased this, I probably would have gotten the green linen too. Those look absolutely gorgeous as well. So again, this is the Peacock, Unicorn, and Badger. I know that Carrie, Tiger Lily, calls hers the Peacorn. Her Peacorn sampler. And I know that Holly of Hobbies by Holly also calls it the Peacorn also. Sometimes it's just tough to have it all come out at once. The Peacorn, Unicorn, and Badger. So anyway, so I have, here's my Peacock. My Unicorn is outlined. And then, so is the Badger. The Badger is down here in the center. So I always love when I can put a little bit of love in that. I did have it on my WhipGo board a few times for this year because I want to give it a lot of love. So this is on my WhipGo for October also. And then another piece on my WhipGo is the Scarlett House, Sarah Sanderson. So she was one of the exclusives from the Homespun group that with Julie Kursave that they offer exclusives kits available. A designer will make an exclusive kit chart and then it's kitted by a store. If you do order it during the exclusive offering period, you will get a kit, but depending on when you order it, you might have to wait a while, but you know, we all have things to stitch. So it's fine. You'll get your kit eventually. And so I bought it with the NPI silks. And here's these beautiful silks. And so far, I kind of got stopped after I did the border, just the outlines of the border. I am a border first girl. I do like to get the border in so that I know that I don't have a surprise at the end when something doesn't match up. So she's stitched on 40 count, and I hope to make some progress on her in October. So she's one of my WhipGos for October. And then another one, I do give myself an extra one, like the Peacock, Unicorn, and Badger was an extra that if I get my other goals met. My other one was this Friendship Sampler 2 from Mary Cox. People tease and say that this kit was a Mary Cox master's class because let me show you. This was Friendship Samplers 1 and 2. I think there's a plastic covering on here. And you get all of these pieces to do. These were samplers that were done for friends. And so it's both friends samplers, you know, like if I would send to you, you'd send to me. And so somehow she was able to get both of the samplers of these friendship samplers, which I think is just fabulous. So anyway, a friend of mine that lives in Buffalo, we are each stitching one of the friendship samplers for each other. So I'm anxious to get this going. Debbie, here I am. I haven't done much on it since last year, but October is my month, and I am going to dive into stitching this girl for you. So she's coming your way. Stay tuned, Debbie. So that's my friendship sampler, and I'm anxious to really put some time into her because I would love to get it to my dear friend that I've known since my daughter has been an infant. So Debbie, stay tuned. She's coming your way. The other thing I have going on, I don't know where I'm going to get all the time to do this, is the samplers from the year-long stitch-along from the Willow Tree Sampler Guild in Texas. Now, the person that you need to contact about that is Willa Brown. They do have a Facebook page. Willa has told me that a number of people have contacted her and have joined the guild since I've mentioned them. And it's really, I cannot emphasize enough how much fun this has been. This is a free stitch along provided by Betsy Morgan. Well, anybody that has stitched any of Betsy Morgan's designs, she is fabulous at three-dimensional pieces. She is such a talent. So anyway, each month for the year, I think we started in April, maybe. So far, we're on sampler 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just got block number 7. And so this is a friendship sampler, and it's a stitch along from all around the world. And so I've stayed up with it. Normally, I'm not so great on continuing with stitch alongs. A lot of times they're start alongs for me. But this one was, I don't really remember if I remember all these countries, but this first one was American, and we choose our own thread palette. So this one was the American one. This was from a Scandinavian country. You know what? I'm not even going to try. I forget the countries they came from, but this was the third one. This one was Mexican. This one with the thistles, I believe, was Scottish. Forget which this one was from last month. You could do backstitch or double running. I did backstitch, but this was beautiful. So I have stayed current with all of these. So this month, this is just all cross stitch. And again, you choose your own palette, and you'll just identify different symbols of what colors you want. Sometimes the symbols on the charts vary a little bit, but you can tell by the colors how your colors in your color palette will match up in the next month. But so this is the one for this month, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I just haven't stitched that yet, and I'm stitching this on Zweigart 36 count flax. So at the end, they all will be finished into like an accordion book. I believe the cover photo of the Willow Tree Sampler Guild has this pictured on it right now. If it's not their cover photo on Facebook, it is in the body of their Facebook page, what it will look like when it's completed. So that's another fun thing. All right, so the other thing I have going on is, a lot of people are getting all geared up about stitching patriotic for our country's birthday in 2026. I belong to the Sampler Guild of the Rockies, and there you could do like a little contract and sign up to do one of several patriotic pieces for the year. So the one that was offered that I decided to do was Salute to Abigail by Blackbird Designs. She's lovely. She is in this Sweet Land of Liberty book by Blackbird Designs. And I am using the called for threads, which are Thread Gatherer Silken Color threads. So it's only 4 colors. So I did order these from Hobby House. Haven't started her yet. I'm really going back and forth on what linen to use. I'm not quite sure. I did select one, but I think now that I have it out of the store and in my home, to me it looks too green to me. So I'm not set on that. I still have to. I'm not ready to start her yet anyway. So I may as well just choose the linen. I have to go through my linen box and pick something else. The other piece that really has my attention is Scarlett House Patriotic Shaker Box set. I have this all ready to go, all kitted and ready to go. And with all of the called for colors. I think I did change a couple colors. No, it's not the called for colors. I did change a few colors in the flowers. But anyway, so that's another patriotic one for this year. And then this one is an Erin Elizabeth design. And I have not stitched any Erin Elizabeth designs before, but I love this flag. Love this. So I'm going to do this. And it's really not that big. On 32 count linen, it only comes out to be 4.5 by 6.3. And I will do it probably on a 36 count linen. So it'll be even smaller than that. And the colors, what I'm using for that are Dinky Dyes, Midnight, and Shades of Wine. So that's my red and blue for the American flag from Erin Elizabeth Designs. So many things to do, and I'm really excited about how people are getting excited about our country's birthday and stitching all these patriotic stitches. It's really great. So those are some goals I have, so stay tuned on that. All right, so now, you know I can't have a floss tube without showing some haul. So I do have some haul here. My first thing to show you is rather large. And this is the Mothership Winterberry box from Hobby House. They had offered this a while back and it didn't ship for quite some time, but this is exquisite. I always fall for anything in red plaid. Red plaid was used pretty broadly in our wedding. We got married in November, 35 years ago this year, and our bridesmaids' flowers were wrapped in this red plaid ribbon. We had red plaid table toppers on our wedding over a white tablecloth for our reception, and it was just beautiful. And our bridesmaids wore red satin and velvet, and it was gorgeous. And I have a true love for Scotland, anything Scottish, but especially this red plaid. So when Hobby House offered this and the smaller box, you know I just had to get it. I just had to get it. And I'm actually very thrilled with this. This has 2 compartments. Big one up here that can hold all kinds of things. I don't want to tilt it too much because then it might drop over on me. But there's the top compartment. And then the bottom compartment is quite deep. And you can hold all the other things. Hoops and glasses and, oh, check this out, that I found this at Goodwill also. Red plaid. This box, and it's totally, doesn't smell at all. Totally clean and fresh and new, and it's just a box of paper. So I thought this would be great to keep in my box because so often we're stitching with friends or at a retreat and somebody mentions something, it's usually something we need to buy. Just face it, isn't that the truth? But anyway, I figured this box of paper would be great to have everything there. I am going to stick a pen in here too. But I was really excited to find this at Goodwill for $1.99. I found it when I found the tin for my Christmas piece. So anyway, that's part of my haul. I was very, very excited to get that. They have since offered, Hobby House has since offered a green tartan one. I was tempted but did not buy that because I have 2 of the red plaid ones already, and that's fine. Okay, some more of my haul. This one is from Old Willow Stitchery, and this was an exclusive on the Homespun Needleworks group on Facebook. Again, it's run by Julie Kursave. She does a fabulous job of running it. So this was offered by Robin Lockhoff of Old Willow Stitchery, I think last winter. I want to say maybe around Christmas or whatever, and there was just too much going on, and I did not purchase it then, but had been kicking myself ever since. All the things are here to finish the sampler and the smalls, and I figured these smalls would go perfectly in my plaid box. So I did contact Julie and asked her that if she's very particular, for good reasons, of people reselling the exclusives they get from her offerings. So anyway, there are certain times of the year when there's no exclusives being offered that people can have the opportunity to part with one of their kits if they would like to. So I had contacted Julie and said that if anybody ever wanted to sell this, that I would love to buy it. So when I was on vacation this summer, someone contacted me through Julie and said that they were willing to sell their kit. And I was really thrilled to get this because I thought that it just wasn't happening. So that's some of my haul. The other haul was, and again, crinkle alert, is Pumpkin Pals from Teresa Kogut. I don't know if I'm going to make this pumpkin basket. What I might do is make it, but not finish it like this. I might finish it around like a cardboard oval box or something that gives it more substance. But this is really kind of cute. This kind of echoes to me, you know, in the same lines, same kind of feeling of all the Stacy Nash animal crackers that we've all grown to love. And so I was excited to get that. I did order 4 charts from my friend Shelly from Antique Needleworkers. These were new releases of hers. Grateful, thankful, blessed. I just love this little motif. Such simplicity, but great message there. I also bought this Welcome Fall. I love this. I have kind of like a light greenish linen. It's what my Festive Forest was stitched on from Blue Flower from the Jingle Ball from last year. And I think what I'm going to do is toss my threads on and see how it looks on the linen that I have left over from that. But I love this Welcome Fall. Oh, and these are Jersey Girl Stitch Co. pins on here. And I have to say that yesterday I was thrilled to meet Teresa of Jersey Girl Stitch Co. I happened to stop into Liberty Hill at the Needlework shop just to stop in and drop something off for the owner. And Teresa came up to me and she recognized me and she said she was so glad to meet me and introduced herself, and we started chatting for quite some time. And it was just really, Teresa, it was such a pleasure to meet you. And I hope our paths cross again because I love your pins that you make. I loved you. I loved meeting you. You were adorable. And we really had some nice conversations. So thank you for introducing yourself. I always love that when people will take that step. Sometimes it's kind of uncomfortable if someone, you know, happens to recognize you. And it's just always nice when they step up and introduce themselves. I'm always thrilled to meet my viewers because right now, recording this, I'm sort of just sitting here talking to myself. All of you know way more about me than I know about you. So it's always so nice when somebody, you know, takes that various sort of step and introduces themselves. So that was Welcome Fall. Let me get back to my haul here. This was another one I purchased from Shelly, BE Creative. She has several now in this BE, in her BE series, and I just love this BE Creative. So I bought that. And then I also bought her, again, crinkle alert. I'm sorry, I should have taken these out of the packages before I started. Her Fall Biscornu. Now this is the 3rd in a series of 4 Biscornus that Shelly's doing. And again, these have some pins on it from Jersey girl also. So that's my haul there. And I think that's plenty. That's plenty. I think that does it for my haul. All right. So I do want to show you, I have some other goals other than stitching goals. I have recently been cleaning out, trying to reconfigure my sewing room. It's a mess. It's a wonderful, lovely, creative mess, but it's a mess. And I am trying to get it organized. My husband is going to build me one of those kind of, I don't know if you've seen it, it's like a craft station on wheels using different units from IKEA. So I'm trying to get myself organized to create one of these, and then he's going to build me one of those workstations. I do need to give the guy some time to heal from his total knee, but that's next on his honeydew. So anyway, I'm trying to get organized and clean out in my sewing room. Well, let me tell you, I found not one, not two, but 3 big collections of things that I have stitched that need to be finished. So let me show you. I'm not going to show everything. It would take a whole nother length of a floss tube. But this whole bag is filled with, it says shepherd's bush on it, but it is filled with smalls. I can show you that go in Mary Cox's Victorian Carrier. You know, why do we stop? I stitched this Victorian Carrier years and years ago. I stitched all the accessories years and years ago. I finished some of the accessories, but not all of them. And I have them all here to put together. So recently, I have a friend, Barb. Hi, Barb and Monica, that will be visiting me in October, and they mentioned to me about seeing my Victorian Carrier. And I was like, oopsies, I have the carrier finished, but not all of the accessories. So here, like, these are all stitched. And check it out. This has been stitched since 2001. Really? I need to wait 24 years to put something together? This was stitched since 2002. I can't believe it. So anyway, that was what was in one of these bags. This one bag is loaded with accessories from Mary Cox pieces to put together. The whole bag is stuffed. It's like a lot here, but all the pieces and parts are there. Then there's the other bag. Check this out. This is all finishing that I need to finish for myself. Oh my gosh, how cute is this? Oh my goodness. This, I think, was You and I and Friends. I'm not sure. Lisa Duffin. 1997, I finished stitching this. Haven't finished it into a darn thing yet. Here's another one. Okay, well, this one is at least that old. Another, I think this was Bent Creek. This is another, I didn't stitch my date on this. I normally do because I need that. It just gives us some heritage to our 2015. How cute is that? Threadwork Primitives. So anyway, I've got another huge bag of finishing. 1 year for Mania. And that's what this bag is. 1 year for Mania, I wanted to see how many, for Mania, a lot of people do it differently. Some will start a new project every day in the month of May or every other day or a couple projects a week. I can't do that. I do enough starting on my own on a regular basis without mindfully starting something new every day. That would drive me crazy. But one year for Mania, I had a whole bag full of smalls. I think there was a lot of shepherd's bush smalls, scissor fobs and little pin cushions and what have you. And one year for Mania, I decided to see how many of those I could stitch in the month. And that's it. That's it, kids. This is it. So I stitched them, but I didn't put them together. But wait, there is more. I have this cute little suitcase. I didn't really know what was in this suitcase when I was cleaning in my sewing room. So I got brave and opened it up. Okay, here we go. Here is more. Here is more finishing. More finishing to do. So in coming videos, you will see that I have finishes, but it's not that I'm going to be a prolific stitcher in that month. I plan on seeing how many of these I can finish in the coming months. And won't that be fun? Look at how much space this will give me in my sewing room once I finish up all of these things. And I can't wait to share them with you. It'll be great. It'll be great. So I'm really looking forward to that. So in my quest to clean out, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I found all these unfinished finishes. So anyway, stay tuned. That'll be exciting in the coming months to see how many of those I can get going. I actually love finishing. Years ago, I used to have a finishing business. Since I've retired, people have been encouraging me to start my finishing business again. I'm not there yet. I can't say never, but I really have other things I want to do first. And but anyway, I'm going to get to these. It's kind of like the shoemaker, where they say the shoemaker's kids have holes in their shoes or bare feet. So the finisher has her finishes that are unfinished. So that's what I have going on. So I'm almost to my giveaways for this celebration video. Thank you for sticking with me and celebrating my 5,000 subscribers with me. Oh, I want to show you one more thing before I get on to my giveaways. When I was recently traveling, with friends, I happened upon an antique sampler. I love the frame. Look at the inlaid wood on that frame. Love, love, love her. A lot of glare here, I'm sorry. But what I really love is this peacock eating the berries out of the berry bowl at the bottom. Now, when I was traveling with friends, my friend Sissy, you guys know Sissy Bailey, she told me that this is a Scottish sampler, and it was from 1852, and that you can hardly see the town, but it says Beith, B-E-I-T-H, and that is from Scotland. So I would like to look up and see if I can find this person, but I just love this sampler. What I totally love about it too is that it looks great in the frame. The frame is perfect, and I can't wait to hang it on my wall. So anyway, that's what I have for you. So here we go. I have some giveaways. And the giveaways that I have for you, there's 10 of them. So just pause the video, get a pen and paper, and mark down which ones you might like to win. In your comments, I will give you a keyword to add to your comments. So you can try to win all of them if you want. And I will have winners on my next video. Okay? So here we go. Are you ready? Oh, I've selected, this is what I want to tell you. I've selected different charts for different seasons. There's some samplers. There's things that encompass different holidays, because that's what I like to stitch. I like to stitch samplers. I like to stitch smalls. And I like to stitch different little pieces that I can use to decorate in my home for the holidays. So anyway, here we go. So the first one is a Halloween design. It's a little, you get the threads, no fabric, but this is from Bent Creek, and this is called Boo. It's very cute, very cute. Should be a quick stitch. And the key word for this, if you would like to win this, is Boo. Again, just use the comments use the keywords in your comments. No prize, giveaway, drawing, any of that hoopla word. None of those, just the keyword in your comments. We want to keep all the internet trolls away. This next one is a Halloween mini kit from Chessie and Me, and this does include the threads and the linen. Very cute. The word for this is mini. So if you'd like to use this, win this, use the word mini in your comment. This next one is another Chessie and Me called Pumpkin House. And the key word for this is house. Now, all three of these were very generously donated by Beth Kiefer, who is one of my subscribers. Hey, Beth, thank you so much again for your generosity. She donated these to me a while ago, sent me a wonderful box of things that I could either stitch, use, or, stitch and use, or use to share with all of you. So I've been doing both. I've kept some and I'm sharing some. So the next one here, in line with the patriotic stitching, this was actually my chart for Plum Street Blueskin. I showed this a few videos back, or maybe it was the last video, I don't know, that I finished into a tray. And this is from Paulette Stewart, Plum Street. And this is one of George Washington's horses that was named Blueskin. So the key word for this is blue. Okay, the next one is a chart by the Blue Flower, and it's called the Strawberry Bird. Look how lovely that is. I just love the simplicity of this. It kind of reminds me of like a Proctor, a Pennsylvania German Proctor painting, or something that would be a theorem painting on velvet, painting on velvet. They call it theorem painting. So this Strawberry Bird, the key word that you would use in your comment is bird. Okay, the next offering is from Heartstring Samplery, and here we're getting into Christmas mode. This is called Merry Birds, and the key word to win these cute little bowl filler pillows or ornaments is merry. So cute. I just love Beth's things. I'm getting ready to take a class from her. I'm going to Jamboree at Salty Yarns later on this week, and I can't wait. Beth is one of the teachers, as well as Beth Seal from Summer House. Our next chart is from Summer House. I would take this out, but it's totally sealed up in here. It's called Wear Your Woolies. Look at how cute that is. And your keyword for this is woolies. So if you would like to win this, make sure you use woolies in your comments. Okay, knowing that I like to stitch samplers, this next offering is Christian Henry 1816 from Sassafras Samplers. That's down at Sassy Jack's in Asheville, North Carolina. And this is a reproduction sampler. And so your keyword to win this is sampler. Beautiful. And even included is a tag to put on the back of your piece to show, just to give some information about who stitched it, the title of it, when you completed it, and the fibers and the linen that you used. Okay, and here's another sampler, and this again is all sealed up. This is Hannah Albertson from the Scarlet Letter. And I included this one because this is believed to be a Chester County, Pennsylvania sampler. And when I was newly married, I lived in Chester County, Pennsylvania. So I just wanted to include that in my celebration since we're celebrating stitching, we're celebrating my floss tube, and we're celebrating you, my viewers. So I wanted to share this with you too. So your keyword for this is Chester. Chester County, Pennsylvania sampler. All right, and our last one is another Christmas one, and it's by Kathy Barrick, and it's called Hanging the Moon. And your keyword for this is Santa. So if you'd like to win this, use Santa in your comments. All righty. So that's our giveaways for this celebration of my 5,000 viewers. Again, I am humbled, I am thankful, and I am so blessed to have all of you in my life. The Floss Tube community is wonderful. I always love it when I can meet any of you. It's just a joy to talk stitching with stitchers. I just love it. And I thank all of you from the very bottom of my heart. And I look forward to seeing you out and about. So again, please introduce yourselves. And I really look forward to that. And I look forward to many, many more episodes of sharing my stitching with you. And if you like what you see and you're new to my channel, just like and subscribe, and we'll see you the next time. So until we meet again, may you find calm, joy, and relaxation in your stitches. Love ya. Thanks. Bye until the next time.